Hello, I'm Miss Daisy Jones, and welcome to this week's edition of Express Yourself. Here at Express Yourself, our purpose is to bring you positive conversation in the wake of the negative information that you may see or hear through the media. Also, my guests have so graciously accepted the invitation to come and share with you today their views and opinions. Now, their views and opinion does not at any way reflect that of Comcast or any of its affiliates. Now, our purpose is to enlighten, encourage, inspire, and also educate through positive conversation. Now, today's conversation is going to get a little bit heavy. And the reason I say that is because we have men in the house. And ladies, what can you do without a man? No matter what they tell you, a little bit of nothing, but that's okay because they're leaders. And we're here with Express Yourself to give them an opportunity to show the positive things that men do, because today's topic is men standing strong, making a difference. So we're going to go on a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to start getting into the 411 of what men really know that they're supposed to do. And these fellas today, they're doing it big time. We'll be right back.
Do you have a product or service, or have a special event that you would like to announce to thousands in the DeKalb area? Well, reach out to us for our low introductory rate at www.eytvshow.com for our low introductory rate.
We're back. Now, let's get into the 411 by introducing, first of all, my four panelists, and we do have some backup that we're going to get to them too, because you know, men are coming out strong today, and I greatly appreciate all the representation. Now, first of all, I'm going to introduce to you my interim co-host for the evening, and if you watch Express Yourself, you guys know who this is. But I wasn't going to belabor him by singing, because you know he can sing, and we're going to give you a little treat, right, Addison? And that is Addison Baker. Thank you so much for being here. And next to Addison, here again, if you watch Express Yourself, because here we like for you to hear it from the same people. You know, we don't want to get a little bit of this and a little bit of that and you get all confused. So we want to stay on the straight gate. And this is in the form of Mr. Bobby Worthy. Thank you so much for coming there. And next to him, if you watch The Music in Me, then you know who this is. And if you were back in the day, you know who he is once again. Because, well, back in the day, and I'm not aging you, dear heart, I'm going to say Yogi from back in the day of the Gap Band, but in reality, as a man's man, this is Mikhail Yeshua. Yes. And next to Mikhail Yeshua, we have another man that if you were an avid watcher and viewer of Express Yourself, then he looks familiar. But if he doesn't look familiar, he ought to get familiar for anybody that has children around here. And that is Mr. Rory Johnson. And I want to tell you this, he is the director of the Boys and Girls Club of Gwinnett County, or just Lawrenceville? Just Lawrenceville. Well, matter of fact, while we're there, talk to us a little bit, Rory, about where you're coming from.
Where I'm coming from, I originally come from the Chicago area, grew up there, and a product of Boys and Girls Club, actually Boys Club back in the day. And I moved here some 28 years ago, and my calling was in corporate America, but I kept feeling a tug on my heart and seeing a flyer that was talking about needing a director for a youth center in a community. I turned to my wife and says, who needs me more, corporate America or our youth?
Wow.
And from that day forward, I've stepped over and been in the youth movement ever since, and that's been 22 years now.
Wow. And that's the Boys and Girls Club of Lawrenceville?
Of Lawrenceville.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And also I like that you threw in the backup, your wife relationship. We're going to talk about that. Okay, Mikhail.
Yes.
Talk to us. Where are you coming from?
I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, and I just moved here to Atlanta not too long ago. I started Accountable Fathers because I became an advocate for fathers' rights, children's rights, and women's rights. And I've taken off ever since then. I've been around the world interviewing fathers, families, and I'm pro-family. And I subtitled my company Accountable Fathers disciples of Christ, because I believe that that was the image that we were to keep if we're going to be an influence in our community.
Right, disciples, and we're going to get more into that because a lot of times people hear the word disciple, they get churchy on us, and that's absolutely not it at all.
No, it
and
means
we're going
discipline.
to shine a little clarity on that today because this is for information and education as well. Okay, Mr. Bobby, talk to us. Where are you coming from?
Well, I was originally born here in Atlanta, over in a neighborhood called the Old Summerhill area. And I met my beautiful wife, and I joined a church under the ministry of Bishop Paul S. Morton. And I wanted a way to touch people and go out and greet and meet people and teach them about God through Jesus Christ. And the way I start doing that, I keep peppermint candy with me, and everywhere I go, I give out candy. If they can't remember my name or I can touch them by talking to them, they will remember me by the candy man.
Because they see you want some more candy, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Well, it's kind of symbolic of sweet caring. You know what I'm saying? Because candy, when you talk candy, you're talking love. Does anybody want to show love? Give a piece of candy. I mean, and that's just the way that even mothers in the church have candy because they want kids to show that they love. So they give a piece of candy. Really, and that's I like that. That's a little cute signature. Okay, Mr. Co-host over there, you gonna give us a little woo now, or you gonna tell us, sing it to us later? But where are you coming from?
Well, I am originally a native of Little Rock, Arkansas, and I came to Georgia over about 10, 11 years, and I have started a youth foundation called Adonijah Foundation Incorporated. I work with the Gwinnett County with the Men's Mentoring Youth Program and also teach with special needs children.
Okay. Now, and I love the fact that all you guys, when you listen at where you came from, you came from some pretty rough areas. Seriously, Chicago, L.A., Atlanta. Over there, is that next to Bankhead or whatever it is? I always hear this about Bankhead and Summerhill. And you, of course, from, and you know what though? That's odd you should say that because that was one of the most treacherous places, surprisingly.
Yeah, and they were known for a lot of gang activity, Crips and Bloods, and
Right.
a lot of other things. And just recently, of course, you hear on the news a lot of the tornadoes,
Right.
the weather things. So there is always something going on in the States. Of course, one of the former presidents, Bill Clinton, is from there. So
Right.
there was always something going on. But again, I had the opportunity to see a lot of the relationships with the fathers and just children in general. And so it stemmed something from that to cause me to really be interested to do
Right.
something, work with you.
Okay, and when we talk about today's subject about men standing strong, you know, people have different concepts of what a strong man is. As a matter of fact, a lot of misconception when it comes to a strong man is a man that is very dominating and that you do what I say do and that's the end of it, which leads into what do you, when we talk about a strong man, because I want to get to understand a real strong man that stands, okay? And as far as your definition of a strong man, tell me, what would your definition, Addison, be?
Strength and strong, I always believe that it is drawn from heritage and it's drawn from the people of family. So I would say, for as my definition, it has to be for as, I'll say strength from a parental side, for social, mental, physical, spiritual, and also emotional. That's where I say where strength lies. And so just going from that, I would always say God is my strength, but who had to teach it to me? So that had to be parental influence there. So my strength was family.
Okay, good. I like that because we're going to talk about family relationship. But before we get into that, I'm going to read something that I was drawn to when I thought about understanding what a strong man is, because some men think being strong is being abusive. You know, really, they do, you know, to do that. But now, this is something I read. It was actually, it's something biblical. And audience, you always say, I hear you guys talking about the Bible and God and all of this. Well, let me tell you this. No matter what anybody tell you or what you may think you believe, there is a God. There is a creator of human life. It's not another man. So if another man is telling you there is no God, that's just another man. But if you take time to listen to your inner self, it's going to give the affirmation of that. And this is what I read. Be on alert. Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. Now, this, when you think about it, it doesn't even have to be biblical to understand that. Because women, don't you look for it? And we got some backup over there. They will tell you. We look for a man with these characteristics. And we're going to go on a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the strength of a man standing strong in relationships. We'll be right back.
Do you have a product or service, or have a special event that you would like to announce to thousands in the DeKalb area? Well, reach out to us for our low introductory rate at www.eytvshow.com for our low introductory rate.
We're back. Now, let's get to a serious question here, because the first thing that I want to ask is, how strong is your conviction in what you believe and that drives you? Rory, talk to me.
How strong is my conviction? I believe in thinking critically, living faithfully. And that sums up into let no problem to be solved be more important than a person or a child to be loved.
Okay, I want you to look at that camera and say that again, and say it with now.
Okay.
Say it again.
Let no problem to be solved be more important than a person or a child to be loved. If we take out all the selfishness in a relationship, all we have left is love. That's my conviction. I work with young youth and with families, and one of the things I always say when we're going through trials and tribulations is EGR, extra grace required. And that's what a strong man does. He gives that extra grace when it's required to stand when no one else will stand.
Okay, everybody know you need a notebook today. Number 1, extra grace. Now we're going to go to Yogi, well, or Mikhail, I should say.
Yeah, either one of us is fine. Well, when I started Accountable Fathers, I started it based on the honor system. What I started seeing is a breakdown of dishonor in whether it be church, society. Nobody could be trusted. You know, you got to ask a guy, is your check good? Is it, you know, and so I think a strong man is a covenant man, a man that honors his father and his mother, because then when he transitions as a man, he can honor his wife, husband. See, the honor system has been taken out of the home. It's been taken out of the church. People don't teach honor your father, your mother anymore. People don't talk about be strong in the Lord. People don't talk about keep your word. And so there's been a breakdown in society where children don't honor their father or their mother. They're disrespectful, they're disobedient. Matter of fact, children have more power now than the parents.
Yeah, and they do because of the laws. And this is what I'm saying about how you let the media tell you what to do and other people telling you what to do when there is an inner spirit, which you will hear this, because understand, these are real men living real life. So they are talking from a real man's perspective. And your key word, write this down, sounds like to me, is honor.
Honor. Honor is in relation with covenant. Because I honor my wife, I will not break my covenant with my wife. It means keep, no matter who's looking. Integrity is what's been missing from all of these messages, whether they come over the pulpit or they come from the political office. People are used to people lying to them. So if you can get in a position where children start being able to realize what flies out of your mouth, it's not what goes in, it's what comes out that defiles you.
Right, right.
So if you're lying, and if you're stealing, and if you're dishonoring, then when you get older, then what's to stop you from doing adultery and everything else?
Right, because that's the key, though.
That's the key, it's the glue.
Okay, Bobby, talk to me. How strong is your conviction, and what do you believe that drives you?
Well, my belief is being faithful and truthful to your family. When I minister to some of the kids, the younger guys that I meet on a daily basis, I let them know when they ask me, well, what do you do when you get married? How you know it's gonna last? I say, if you put God through Jesus Christ in your life first, be with your wife, and I say, don't lie or cheat. I say, because once you get married, you don't only make a vow to your wife, you make a vow to God as well as Jesus Christ. And I don't want to make a promise to God knowing if I break it, I'm doomed. This is my way of being strong, doing things with my family, taking them where they want to go. We pray together and we go to church together.
Okay. Addison, talk to us.
I believe the conviction and the drive comes from legacy and accountability. Because as you mentioned, having the inner spirit talking to you, I think it was in Joshua's generation when it says, there grew up a nation that knew not God. Right. It's a terrible thing when a child does not know their heritage or their parents, or I've seen the results of this. And so the legacy is what drives us. We are here because someone instilled in us, imparted into us something. And so when you leave a legacy for someone, then you're leaving something behind that has been imparted into you. So whatever has been given, to whom much is given, much is required. But whatever has been given to you, you are endowed with that to share it with another. So my drive is legacy, because I grew up with my parents, of course, but as many know, but when I see the issues that are facing society today, I recognize that it's that very conviction that I see in some that are missing. Mm-hmm. And so therefore we try to leave a legacy behind, leave something, because we know we're not here always, but right. We know that while we're here, to do something to change your life.
Okay, now, and artists, we're going to let you understand what these men are saying when it talks about accountability and legacy, because legacy is not only what is passed down to you, it's what you leave.
Yes.
And
right.
that's a legacy of being dishonorable or doing whatever. We're going to get into that a little bit more, and I'm loving what you guys are saying. But now we've got some backup. See, I didn't have enough room to go over here, so we had to spread out some. So we have some other men here that in this, we got a couple of minutes, and I want each one of you guys to take a couple. First of all, Dr. Ishola. Now, he is a professor at 2 colleges, but I know you from Brown Mackie. Give us a couple minutes of how strong is your conviction when we look at a man standing strong? How strong is your conviction in what you believe that make you do what you do?